So I finally had a chance to go back and look at the film, watch the game over again, see the highlights, and some things jumped out to me.
Wyatt gets the ball. Wyatt backs to throw. Wyatt looks. Fires toward the end zone. Pass caught for touchdown by Matthew Butler.
This video is sponsored by Mississippi Land Bank. Visit them online at mslandbank.com and by Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. Go with the home team. I did not get to see the Alabama versus Florida game live. I was checking it, but I was in the radio booth for Mississippi State's game at Memphis. I was checking the score, and then I saw Florida come back. So I finally had a chance to go back and watch the game over again, see the highlights. And some things jumped out to me. Number one, it was a really competitive game. Number two, Bryce Young is special, and he does some really special stuff. And number three, one of the ways that Florida got back in this game and got some stuff going offensively is because Alabama's defense, particularly their linebackers, had some issues. Check it out. Run play coming back out the other side right here. And watch it first. Just kind of watch it happen. They go motion. It gets them to 2-by-2. Kind of removes a guy, and then he splits at the backside, and the safety has to make the tackle. Kind of a weird sticking his foot in the ground. He's lucky he's not hurt right there. But there's a couple things I noticed about this. First of all, design. You know, Florida is in man-to-man, and Alabama is lining up initially pre-snap 3-by-1, 3 being a bunch. But it's a man-to-man responsibility here. For instance, this linebacker in the middle has the back in the backfield in man-to-man, and they're going to show you that when the motion happens. Here's what I mean. So they motion out of the bunch, and you see what happens. As soon as 8, Mechie, is motioning across, 16 is trailing him, running with him. It means that's my responsibility. So he goes this side, whatever route he runs, I'm going to, match that. It's a clear indicator that you got a man-to-man responsibility. Therefore, when you snap the ball, here's another thing that happens. Back is lined up to the left of the quarterback and is going to run this through this zone to the backside. So it means his man-to-man responsibility would have to chase it this way. The other thing to notice is when you motion away, your second inside receiver, there's that H tied in on the right hash, and his man-to-man defender is here, this safety. Well, his blocking responsibility is backside from the play, and that motion to his left brings that defender where the ball is going to go over here as well because he's following his guy. If that makes sense, you're sort of removing players. You can see that happening now. You can see 81's coming in here to block backside, and so his guy is keying on him, is not looking handoff, and is actually running himself away from this area where the ball is about to be run right in here. So really blocked well. Again, that's the other thing is, everybody is hat on a hat play side like you want. Okay, so if you're looking at 4 defenders who could make the play, they're all getting blocked play side. As I showed you, a 5th defender on this side is running away from the lane because he's following his man-to-man responsibility, who's headed in here to block. And he's going to actually block or get in the way of the responsibility in coverage one-on-one for the back. So it's a really nice design of numbers, and you got what you want. And so the safety that's free up top in this man-free coverage is the one who's going to have to run this thing down. And it's really, not the best angle, but he didn't have much of a choice. He's got to put on the brakes and go get him, and doesn't give up the touchdown, so at least he gets him down short. Option to their right, and they're going to pitch off the end man on the line of scrimmage. It's kind of a linebacker safety here. I mean, it's a 3-4 look. Whatever the personnel is, it looks like 3-4, and it's going to be cover 3 behind it. So watch the play first. They're going to pitch off the end, unblock. You're reading it as a quarterback. Blocks on the outside, you get a first down, and then a lot more. So I want to look at something here. In my opinion, there was some glaring issues in the game for Alabama, and defensively, a whole lot of it was linebacker play. They were very up and down. They would make some plays, and then honestly, it almost looked like they would take some plays off. Okay, so first up, we know that this is your pitch man, okay? He's taken out of the play because you allow him to come off the edge of the line of scrimmage, and you read him as a quarterback, whether you keep or pitch. So go to the next linebacker here, 10 on the inside, and watch what happens to him when I run the play. They're going to combo up to him, hit him. He took a poor angle and gets knocked way up the field, nowhere near making the play by the first down. Now, what's happening is on the snap, you have the offensive guard attacking that tackle and the offensive tackle comboing him. And depending on those steps, which he goes inside, then it's the tackle who goes to the next level and reaches outside to take on a combo up to that linebacker. That's how that works. So effectively, I mean, the call is it's 2-on-2, but they're working through the tackle right there. So watch the offensive tackle. Outside shoulder. It's not the best job on the inside because they actually let the tackle squeeze through. It's just happening fast enough he can't affect the play. Offensive tackle's already got his eyes up, and he's going after this linebacker. And he makes it easy for him here because he sees a ball going away, and instead of lateral, I'm going to take on this block and try to squeeze this lane over here to get him short of the first. I'm going to turn and just go chase this upfield. And when he does, the offensive tackle right here, who's a big guy and a good athlete, just jumps all over him and runs him out of the play. Hits him, knocks him out of the play. That's not a great job, honestly. And then the other thing that really is even a worse job on this play is from this linebacker here, because all they would have is a center and a backside guard to combo the nose to try to get up there and pick him off, and get in front of him, shield him from the play, but they're not able to do it on the snap. You see the guard getting up. He's got a hand on him, but he's not able to block him. So this linebacker, if he gets on his horse and runs full speed, ought to be able to chase this thing down in the hole and actually make contact with the ball carrier right here. But watch him. I want you to watch right here, number 8. He loafs, doesn't run full speed. He's not upfield to make contact. And then watch at the end. That's just an Olay. I mean, it's really, really a poor job, and you do not see this very much from Alabama linebackers. I mean, he's, in my opinion, he's kind of looking, not really hustling here, and then gets there and I don't know. You don't see that poor of a tackle attempt very often from an Alabama linebacker. So there you see again, good design, and they don't make the play at the next level. Now, I don't want it to come across that I'm picking on one guy or two guys or just picking on a player in general. I don't want to do that. I'm not. But in analysis, sometimes there are negatives. Motion, double motion on the play, and then the guy I've got circled actually catches the football in kind of a wheel route type of action here. So he motions in. They're then going to set him and bring motion the other way. You overload one side and then get him free on a wheel route for a touchdown. And it's an excellent catch in getting his foot down. I want to go back and show you something, though. So if we go back to the very beginning on this, Florida is showing what looks like 2 high safeties. But you can see this one over here on the left is way removed off the hash. And generally, by and large, if it's actually a zone safety, he's going to be a little more, a little closer to that hash. Being over there to that side gives you an indication that something may be going on, at least in their plan, with a man call, depending on who's out in the route, or possibly a blitz. You have to think about those things. So they motion and set him here on the edge. So we saw that. And when they do, they adjust. And what's happening is they're already showing you that they're jumping into a man-to-man look, okay, on that side, kind of giving you that indication. I'm sure Scouting Report told you this kind of stuff for Alabama. Now when you motion, nobody runs clearly with it to the other side, but what happens is when he comes through and they give you a little speed sweep look, it catches the attention of these guys. They're already in man-to-man responsibilities. It catches their attention and I think kind of brings that safety down, which is the intent, because then you're going to release and running a pick. You're going outside on top, inside receiver underneath to try to rub route right there to get open on the sideline. It's a complicated design, but it's one of those like what you're going to get, and that's why you call it. And that's what happens. Here comes the rub. Outside receiver has released and is about to hit this safety. So you have to decide, is this an illegal pick? They have jumped into man-to-man everywhere. okay, here and here. I know it's confusing, but what's happening is, so linebacker's got inside, he's outside, corner running with the outside receiver. So this safety has to cover him in man-to-man. And what's happening is the outside receiver hits him on the outside shoulder, enough so to knock him off of his ability to cover right here, and that's how they get the throw. So you do have to decide, okay, is that an illegal pick right there? I don't think it is. I think it's probably the good thing to do there as an official is no call. You're not smooth blocking him, but you are trying to get in his way, and it's the defender who kind of leans outside into him, gets knocked off, and now he's an absolutely free release on the wheel on the outside, and it's an excellent read by the quarterback. You see, man, he's getting pressure, but still puts it on him. Nice throw, nice catch. Yeah, the best part of it, the catch, getting the foot down and making sure you're inside that pylon. And here's going to be an interception for Alabama. They jump into a man-to-man look. You get pressure on the quarterback, and that affects his throw, and you overthrow the guy for an interception. I want to look at two things. On this copy, look at what Alabama's doing on the front. This is an interesting twist in that the outside guys are taking that inside angle of the tackles. Both are aiming at the inside shoulder of the tackles. But normally, for instance, on this side, this 3 technique would twist around on his side that he's lined up on, and the nose would then come around this way. You'd have those double twists. But they are actually crossing too. The nose is lining up to the left side of the defense, but he's going to come across and actually twist all the way to his right off the edge. And the defensive tackle, who's a 3, is going to twist off of his butt and come all the way around to the left. So it's a pretty complicated stunt right here that you don't really see too much. You see a lot of twists, but now you see it happening, okay? So outside, you got here going inside the tackle, Anderson on the other side coming on the left shoulder. But now you have the nose tackle coming all the way around to the opposite side. 3 technique coming all the way around here, making it much harder on those inside guys to pick that up and pass it off. You don't see that stunt very much. It requires a lot of practice and timing for them to run it that tight. And the pressure is what forces the interception. Now, I thought quarterback had the right read. There you see that twist working, one that you don't see much. I thought he had the right read. This is, you're getting 5 out in the route on empty. It's totally a man-free cover 1 where the safety's in the middle of the field. Everybody else is in man-to-man. And he comes down here to the 2 receiver side where you're running a curl and kind of a stick route underneath where you get a little high-low going. But since it's not zone, it's just man-to-man. He pushes him up the field, comes right back to the football, and is actually open. You'll see him at the top of the route. Stop, stick him. Ball's coming out now, and because he's getting hit, and if he throws it on him, you're going to get a complete right here. He pushed him down the field. It's just you overthrow it to the DB, and that is because of the rush. Here's a red zone passing touchdown to the running back out of the backfield. If you're looking at how they get it done, it's 3-by-1, and the one receiver to the short side of the field is a tight end, but they hit the back out of the backfield. Nice move and into the end zone. We'll do this quick. By design, I'll show you the route. They go 3 receiver side of the wide side. It's in break on the goal line, back to the back pylon on that side. If you read that side, you may go back to the pylon, especially if you get man. But as I said, the only receiver in the boundary is a tight end. He's push out and stick into the goal line here, and your swing out of the backfield if the protection allows that, right? If they're blitzing, he may stay in. I don't know. I'm not in the huddle, but that's what it looks like to me. And I just think what happens is he lines up in pre-snap. He knows I got 3 on this side, and they've got 4 defenders over my 3. If you can see that, I drew it crooked, but you see what I'm saying. I got 4 over here over my 3 guys. And so I'm going to come back to this side where I've got 2, 1 here, 1 here. And right now, it's 2 over 2. Now, certainly somebody could run out and be involved, but on the edge, it's 2 over 2. So I'm going into this side. I think that's probably what tells him I'm going into the boundary. And then what happens is on the release, it's zone coverage. So he's not running down, and he's not running down here to jump in a man-to-man. It's zone initially, and he kind of stays. The safety's over the top, so he puts his eyes out there, sees the zone, waits for his back to clear, and then I'm just going to give it to him because in any good offense, I just want a one-on-one. You know, it's not that I have to get everybody wide open all the time, uncovered. I just want to get the right guys with the football in a one-on-one with time to make the move. Now, I don't want to get it to him late, but I just want to get it to him in time. And if I can do that, I'm going to score, and that's what you get right here. Make the guy miss one-on-one, you're in the end zone. So here is an interesting play where the third man on a three-receiver bunch side is going to cross the formation and get lost and be wide open for a big play for Florida. He blocks, delays, release. They corner blitz on that side. There's nobody over there. It's man-to-man. And I believe this play happens because there's a bust in coverage for Alabama. And let's take a look. It actually seems like there's, a lot going on. First, it's singled up into the boundary. What I mean there is one-on-one, one receiver, and the ball's on the left hash. So this way is the wide side of the field. You get a cat corner, corner blitz, cobra, whatever you want to call it. That's the corner firing into the boundary. That's the shortest side. That's usually when it happens, which means this safety who's lined up on top to give the quarterback a two-safety look is actually coming down to replace him and jumping into man-to-man on this receiver. So because it is man-to-man, you have to think, okay, who's covering this tight end, who's covering this receiver, and who is covering the guy that caught the football. So let's take a look as the play starts. Well, what happens is the second receiver, the tight end, gets, pretty much a free release here. And, we're talking about linebackers. In this case, 8 for Alabama does a really nice job of turning and running with him because this safety is going back to be a center fielder in man free. So with that release, this vertical release right here, it's a really nice job by 8 to turn and run with him step for step. So he takes him in man-to-man. The other is that obviously out here, this is a man-to-man here. So we're back to the guy who caught the ball. Corner coming off the edge. He's releasing, and that's a man-to-man. And now on a delay release, we're going block by the tight end and then releasing the flat coming where the corner is blitzing from. So what I believe is happening is this defender right here is busting. I don't know that for sure, but that's the way it looks to me. I believe he is busting 13 because he loses a man-to-man responsibility, and that's the purpose of the play because the tight end engages. He doesn't release initially. There's a delay there, and he's blocking first. That happens, 13 stays, and now he's confused. There's nobody here for him to cover. The back has gone here. The tight end has gone here, so there's nobody for him to cover. Even though he's staying on that side, he's confused, and 9 is turned loose. 10's going to run himself out of it, covering the back out of the backfield, and it's a great design, and it works even better because you've caught it at a time when they're coming with the corner into the boundary as game planning stuff, and that's how you got him wide open. I think it's because of a bust, and so there's nobody there. You get a little blocking downfield, turns into a big play. Okay, check out this touchdown run right up the chute on an inside zone run for Florida and how this happens. So you're getting combos on the tackles, just split it right up the chute, beat the safety, and then it's a sprint to the end zone, drag them in there. We'll see it from behind so you see the blocking really well, but check out how this happens. It's all bunched up. Everybody's tight to the formation right there, except, what's split out here. You can't even see. It's just basically removing a defender. And you'll notice right before the snap, they send a receiver in motion. And again, watch what Alabama does in coverage here. There he goes. He's running with him, right? So he's leaving, running with him. We know whatever's happening here, this is a man-to-man call for them. So that means the linebacker to that side has this was number 3, now number 2 receiver in man-to-man. And the outside receiver is in man-to-man with the corner, right? Because the runner has his responsibility. He's actually running him off the play because of the man-to-man call. So you go a little farther. So if it's man-to-man, which it is, you can kind of see this happening here. You see 8 looking up his guy in man with the safety in the middle. Then ask the question then, who is responsible for the running back in man-to-man? I believe it's a linebacker right here, or should be. Again, if you're keying and you have a man-to-man key, a responsibility key, and the reason you'd call that is because one would be responsible there, and if they keep the football, another is responsible for quarterback. You have the numbers. The problem is on this mesh with the back going inside, the quarterback potentially keeping outside, both of these defenders jump to the outside. It's a bust by one of those linebackers in terms of his responsibility. Both linebackers jump to the outside. The blocks have happened. Combo, you split it. Now somebody is out of position, and that's how you let them into that next level, and it becomes a big play. So linebacker play again, some guys jumping around and not where they're supposed to be. You see it from behind. The blocking is really clear. Right there, it's center and left guard on one of the tackles. You wind it. It's right guard and right tackle, another combo. And once that happens, a defender has run out here because you went motion and he followed his guy. And now there's no linebacker stepping in here in the hole in the middle, right where this running back's going. And there he goes. Whether it's a read or not for the quarterback, I don't know. But I think you got a linebacker out of position. Speed option, big play to the tailback here out of the backfield. They're reading off the in-man on the line of scrimmage. I'll draw this up for you. Turn the in-man loose, pitch off of him. Blocking happens downfield, and you're off for a big play. There's a lot to look at here too, and I want to go back and kind of show you how they're doing this. So this is who they're pitching off of. They are not going to block him on purpose. So you go speed option. Alabama with 3 down and a 3-4 look. And whether it's nickel personnel and 3-3-5, it doesn't really matter because it is clearly, again, what Alabama wants to do. They want to play man-to-man in some shape, form, or fashion with that free safety roaming out here in the middle of the field. So because it's a man-to-man call on this particular play, edge is rushing and linebacker has running back. So on the snap, running back steps this way to be the pitch for the option. Immediately, his responsibility in man-to-man, plays that linebacker, starts to chase him, and they're going to block him this way. They're turning the in-man loose. Like we said, that's who you're going to read if you're the quarterback and pitch off of. So tackle is up to block here, 1. Up to block man-to-man 2. Up to block 3. And you're off and running if you get those blocks and you pitch off the in-man on the line of scrimmage. So that's exactly what happens. As you see, he's chasing. There goes my man outside. The tackle has already stepped up and is going to block him. It's an athletic move. Speed option means, we're not blocking immediately. I see pitch and I have what I want, and that's him with the football headed here, and 1 block happening, and 2 and 3, and all that room to the edge. You're using their responsibilities and their scouting report against them. Now, here's what I want you to watch. That means if he is blocked, which he does get blocked, then this linebacker's got to chase it down. He's got to hustle and go make a play. And like I showed you earlier, I just think you have examples of guys taking plays off and not running hard. Here's another example of that. Watch this. Keep your eyes right here on the middle linebacker chasing this play from behind. It's a little slow, and it just is not urgent. He lets him run by him. I don't know, if he's injured. That's one thing, but if he's not, it just looks like a little bit of loafing to me right there. That's not, it's a fast player, but I don't think that there's some urgency there with that linebacker that there ought to be. Just lets him run right by him, and you get a huge play. You can see it from behind really well how it's working here and how quickly it happens for the quarterback. As soon as he sees him firing off the edge, I know I'm pitching right now. That's how this is called, and it's up to the tackle to get there, and he does. And so you have a player here who's got to run this thing down, and the urgency's just not there at linebacker with the blocks happening and letting the guy run right by you and never even really get a hand on him. You look at the linebacker play for Alabama. They did some good things. They made some great plays in the game, but it was very much a flip the switch on, flip it off type of game for them, because there were examples like that and some more I'm going to show you where the effort just didn't seem to be there. They go zone run here in the backside, quarterback meshing it, and I think he's reading this way. He makes a right read because, in man on line of scrimmage does fire down in there, but you've got 1 and 2 on top. If he keeps, there's no way they're going to score right here. So I think on pre-snap, he knows that he's got to give this football. Alabama does a pretty nice job, I think, in that inside they get a nose that stands up the lineman and closes the hole a little bit. The linebacker does a nice job to escape and get in the hole, even though initially it looks like it should be a walk-in touchdown. That's why I say this. You're giving right here. You're getting blocked there, and you're blocked down inside right here. It just looks like there's a free lane right into the end zone, but he squeezes, your nose squeezes it, and the linebacker gets in there to make it tough on him. It's just the running back has the blocks he needs and the momentum to get the ball over the goal line, and they get the touchdown up out of it. It's not a bad job of the nose. He's trying. The linebacker just doesn't get there in time. And it was close. His knees stay up. 20 from the backside's doing all he can to try to get there, and he just couldn't get there. Alabama run these crossing routes against zone coverage. They had 2x2 tight to the formation, and up top you're getting release. Florida's in zone coverage. They're bringing 5 guys on the rush. And so Alabama's going to mesh over the football and cross, and they're going to follow on the backside and put 1 over the football at 6 to 7 yards. And so you wind up with 3 kind of underneath this zone coverage and 2 of them wide open. You see a mesh in the middle of the field. And if you don't get the quarterback right here in his zone coverage, I don't know how you stop this. Guys are just open. And, this is one where your receiver is actually hooking up in this zone right behind the official. And so people go, well, it wasn't a great throw. He almost missed him because you threw it behind him, made him jump. And I think quarterback's throwing it, trying not to hit the referee in the head with it right here, because if he threw it right on him, that's where he did it. So he actually put it behind the referee, and it forced the receiver to have to turn. But it's a phenomenal job to catch and turn. It actually helped him to sprint to the outside where there was green grass and turn it into a big play against the zone coverage of Florida. You saw him go in there, turn. Nice job to find the football. Unbalanced, absolute walk-in for a touchdown. So those that watch the game will remember this one. It just looked really easy, right? Unbalanced. And so look at the formation. Even though he's lined up like the tackle, so here's the ball, center, guard, he's lined up like the tackle, but on the edge, this is actually an eligible receiver right here because he's not covered up by anybody here. So you have to keep that in mind if you're studying this future opponent. There's left guard, left tackle, extra offensive lineman covered up. He can't be a receiver, so you have an extra offensive lineman because he's covered up by 85, who could be an eligible receiver, as could the hip tight end because he is off the line right here. So they have left of the center, actually have 4 guys on the line of scrimmage and 1 extra blocker. And that's the key right here. When you look at the way Florida lined this up, this is too easy to step down and just wall that inside because of the alignment. And then this is too easy, asking the corner to take on that guy. So, they just line it up, block them. I think I actually drew that up wrong because what happens is he's inside on the tackle, and this, tight end extra lineman player is up on that first play side linebacker right there. That's actually how it happens. And you just walk it in. Everybody blocked up, make it look easy. Inside zone run, the handoff comes right up the chute, and I just think Alabama has got some guys out of position, whether it's out of responsibility and getting blocked, but some out of position, some losing some gap responsibility, and that's just one way I think to word it. So if you look at what's going on, Alabama, it looks to me like they pretty clearly have a nickel package in the ball game, and for Florida, they're going to treat this like 2x2 receivers, 2 to the wide side, 2 into the boundary with a single back, right? And it's man-to-man calls. Again, you're seeing this so much in this game, man-to-man calls with a free safety in the middle of the field is how they want to play it. And on the snap, Alabama is bringing one down from a safety look down into the box. So instead of having 6 in the box, you're going to have 7 against that run. You should have numbers. So watch some of the stuff that happens here as the play starts. So safety comes firing down there. So what I see right away is quarterback's reading. Okay, he puts his eyes over here. He's reading in man on the line of scrimmage. I guess. The problem is the tackle steps out there. Maybe they're not. Maybe this is the read. Whatever it is, it looks like a read. Maybe it's a straight handoff. I don't know. Thing is, tackle steps out to block, so they don't have an unblocked that they're reading. And the tight end or number 2 receiver is coming across the formation to pick up backside so that the lineman, the left guard, can step up on the linebacker. That's the design of the play, and that's how it's going to work. But my thing is, from Alabama's perspective, is over here on backside. If stand up here is going to be the contain, if he's going to have outside leverage, then why are you wasting another one here in outside leverage if this guy's going the other way? Does that make sense? In a man-to-man responsibility. So let's just say this receiver is covered by this guy in a man-to-man. Well, once he goes that way, why is he here? Because you actually have 2 and you waste one off the edge, and maybe that's by design. So go just a little farther on the play. Now 2 other things that are happening. So he's about to get blocked. He stepped right into it. Okay, 2 defenders in one spot here. So if you were to say, let's just say he's got outside of the tackle. Well, who is responsible for that gap inside the tackle, which would kind of look like a cutback here for the running back? Somebody's responsible for it. Well, it could be this linebacker, but if that's the case, if he's responsible for this gap, why are we here and not over? So it's a little confusion. Somebody's just out of place just a little bit. Another thing that's happening is this linebacker is stuck. And he's about to get blocked by the guard because his feet are in concrete. He's not moving. So let's go a little farther. So he's blocked. He's stuck. Guard very easily steps up on him. You had a block back. You're running right behind that. So, again, who is supposed to be there? If this linebacker is supposed to take on that block, he's got to do a much better job of that. Here's what I mean. Watch 8. He's stepping down. He's looking for ball carrier. Here comes the block from the center. Watch the center snap the ball, step up on the backside linebacker, number 8. Doesn't really block him because 8's avoiding the block. So, again, what's the responsibility? Is his responsibility here because he expects a teammate to be here? I don't know, because the teammate's not there. Or is he supposed to be outside, and this is his gap, and that's what he's trying to get into? Maybe it is. At any rate, ball's coming at you. I can understand if he thinks this is my gap or this is the cutback, I'm jumping in there. I can kind of understand if that happens. But it just kind of looks to me like instead of taking on a block, you're jumping from it. You're jumping out of the way right here. This I do know, like I said, this ain't great linebacker play. You got one that stood still and absolutely getting blocked and not really challenging the play, another that's jumping out of the gap. And so once you block it at the line of scrimmage, if your linebackers do that, then this is going to happen a lot. There was some putting it on cruise control going on at the linebacker position. And if the player is hurt or injured, okay, then you might understand it. But if not, the effort just wasn't there on some of it. And it had an impact on some of these bigger plays and keeping drives going for Florida. They're going to throw back shoulder one-on-one to the wide side of the field. Get man-to-man, line up inside the numbers. Don't have the best view of it here, but back shoulder throw, perfect location. Excellent job by the receiver. And so you get it down here, a little bit of push off, but that's a good no call. Excellent throw. And then you're going to go quarterback draw for a touchdown. They've gone 4 receivers to the wide side. They put 4 over the top. You're just removing them to get guys out of the box right here, running quarterback draw out of empty, and they're going to look for, I believe, probably the way they designed this is go to the line of scrimmage and look for the shade nose, because then you're going to get a one-on-one kick out with the tackle against a smaller pass rushing type of end. And with that shade nose, it's going to be guard and center combo up to whoever play side linebacker is. And you want your quarterback either running left or inside off of that. So I think that's probably the deal, is get up there, find the shade nose, step back, run that draw right behind it, and then find daylight, push yourself into the end zone and get the touchdown. You know, Anderson at 31, a defensive end, he's a heck of a player, but in some situations, because of his weight, he will get shoved around in these running situations against better tackles. Pass interference call in the fourth quarter here for Alabama on 3rd and 7. Florida thought they had them stopped. What they did is released here and went inside. Florida's jumping into man free, and that left this singled up out here running a dig. And it's a good read by the quarterback to come back around there and find that one-on-one dig. Fires it in there, batted away. You think you got to stop on 3rd and 7 in a one-score game, but the flag comes in. And I actually think it's the right call right here because, you know, this is what you're taught. You can't hook this guy. You can't get that left arm wrapped around there and hook him on the backside. If his hand is out, if he's not, hooking him, hanging on to him on the backside, he's probably still going to knock it away and it won't get called, but you can't have that arm around the waist. A heck of a play right here by the quarterback on what's a naked. It looks like the running back, might have gone the wrong way. I can't really tell. He's reversing out. You're motioning this way. Back's going this way. You're reversing out this way and coming around. Maybe it's designed that way, but still it's a heck of a job by him because it's naked. It means he has nobody blocking him in front of this defensive end. Everything stepped this way, and it's like you intentionally didn't block this guy because you delayed with your tight end to release him on this 3rd and 3 play. Well, the end's got some urgency coming downfield on the naked right here, and this is just an outstanding job. Being an athlete, you're now playing a little backlot football, put a move on him. Can I run for the first down on 3rd and 3 and just shovel it forward? Is a heck of a play right here in a big spot in the ball game. And then they line up over here, get stopped on a goal line. That's a really nice job by Florida playing on the edge by that linebacker. We talk about linebacker urgency right here. This is a nice play on the next level. See it. They don't get to him, come off the edge, get back there and make the play. And that could have been a bust on the blocking. They're going unbalanced again. So it leads to the field goal that they kick through there and make it a 31-23 game at that point. Last touchdown and then 2-point. They're going to read that backside in man line of scrimmage, not block him, whether the quarterback's going to give or keep. He stays out. You give, pop it around the edge for the touchdown right here. And again, I don't know if Alabama's tired or, what's going on, but they're getting blocked. There's some, urgency issues. Okay, so they don't block him on purpose on the edge. Quarterback reads him, and he stays out. So it's a give coming back the other way for the running back. They're going to step down with the tackle and pull the guard, and he's coming off the butt of the left tackle here inside. And so it's combo up to inside, whoever shows right there. What happens is you actually have this linebacker who steps into the hole, so he's picking up backside linebacker, if that makes any sense on the combo. So watch what happens. There are your blocks happening play side. Tackle on in, stands him up. Guard stepping up to get backside. That leaves this meeting in the hole here by the guard and the linebacker. And the guard absolutely wins it. I mean, hits him, leverage, knock him off of it right there. That's a poor circle there. Knocks him off of it, and you're off and running. It's another example of, they didn't have their best game at linebacker. It can be better for sure. And then the next thing is, too, I got to have some urgency out of my safety right here to keep this from being a touchdown. A little bit of a shallow angle, not picking on him here, but, coming downfield just a little bit shallow. I got to get on my horse now, and I cannot let him run by me into the end zone right there. They're getting blocked on the outside, too. Got blocked on the edge. So if you look at it, Here's a one-on-one, Florida wins it. Here's a one-on-one, Florida wins it with the linebacker. Here's a one-on-one, Florida wins all of these play side, and that's how you're able to pop a run like this to the next level. Safety is not on his horse, and downfield receivers winning that battle in a big way. We got to do a better job at safety right there. And then the 2-point play, this is one where right now you got to give him this football. Now, I know you're trying to wait because he wants to make you have some indecision, and you don't want to give too quick where he can fall down in there. However, the ball is 3 yards away. You're back here in a shotgun, so now you're 6 yards away. And we got to have a little bit of a quicker decision, I think, especially once we've ridden to that point. He's got to have the football and get on his horse as fast as he can get right now if we're going to get this from this distance, because you've blocked here, you've blocked here, you've blocked here, and we got a little bit of a lane. It's just this is so slow developing that you're going to get the quarterback and the back tackled really all at the same time by the guy you're reading, supposedly. Really, it's one of those where I look at it and I go, I understand the design, but when the guy you're reading and you're unblocking him on purpose is able to, with the design of the play, is able to tackle both the quarterback and the ball carrier at once, then we got a problem here with the design of this 2-point play. We got to have a better 2-point play than that. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. I'm Matt Wyatt. Radio Wyatt on Twitter and elsewhere. Thanks to Mississippi Land Bank for supporting these videos. See you on the next one.